joining us for part 2.
Isaac!
Rogue Actions.
It's his birthday! He's 65!
I'm not 65.
Oh,
I don't look a
66?
day over 70.
69.
Yeah. Dinner for 2. Anyway,
Nice.
moving right along. If you're brand new to this channel, please smash that subscribe button. It really helps us grow this awesome channel. Thank you so much for your support. Get some thumbs up out there as well. It would be absolutely great. We're here with our boy, Cubs fan Han, the BYU superstar supporter, #1 fan. They're up and running. And I need to, of course, give some love, not just to BYU today, Cubs, but there's some love down under today for a man by the name of Daniel Ricciardo, who has won his first race in about 3 years, I think it is, in Formula One. The godfather of the very well-known Shoei, as we're all aware. Danny sort of put the Shoei on the map, had a big win yesterday in Italy, the Italian Grand Prix. So there's lots of love down here, down under for our boy Danny Rick.
That reminds me, BYU actually has a legendary player named Johnny Linehan, who's from Australia.
Oh, he must be an absolute superstar and a heck of a good-looking guy.
He's from Australia. Guess what position he played?
Tell me.
Kicker.
Actually, we pump out a lot of kickers in Australia. No
I know.
kidding.
That's why I asked you, because there's like so many Australian kickers in American football.
Yeah. Well, see, it's the kicking action is really similar to our Australian rules football. We grew up playing that as they kick in games, so we just changed the style and the technique. And you get a lot of the Australian kickers. There's going to be plenty more coming your way over the years.
Made it a little more football than hand egg, so.
Yeah, that's right. So we're up and running, Cubs. Had a ball, really, really cool chat. Talked about our thoughts on Lord Vader straight up. We had some pretty cool memes, which you snuck up on me, you cheeky monkey. You didn't tell me you were going to sneak those ones up on me. And, of course, we went through some cool sleeper 5v5 teams. But, we do need to speak about Lord Vader. And I think we got ourselves half a Galactic Legend, Cubs. The other half is coming in 2 more conquests from now when Maul drops in. I think we agree Kenobi was really, really plug and play useful with Galactic Republic and another, and a few different variations and options straight out of the box. I feel Lord Vader is just not as good out of the box at this point in time. And considering the investment, man, there's a few people I think pretty disappointed about that out there. What do you think?
Yeah, and I get the disappointment because I will fully acknowledge that it's easy for me to have the take I'm about to give when I didn't spend money on this character. At least, I mean, I've spent a little bit getting ready, but I'm not wailing to get him day one. But I'm also kind of feeling like we knew this is how it would be.
Yeah.
Like we saw it with Kenobi. They told us Maul would be a really important piece to the puzzle. And so, like, if you got your Lord Vader and you're surprised that without Maul, it's not as good as you'd like it to be, then I don't think you were paying attention, because I think that's pretty much what they packaged this to be. And so maybe the discussion is more, is it okay for them to do it that way? And, I think we could have probably a good, honest debate about that. I'm not sure how I feel on if they should or should not do it that way. But as far as like the disappointment goes, it's like, well, you should have known, I think, that's how it was going to be.
The disappointment's one thing, but from a lot of people, when you consider that, Rey just was a game changer when she came out. Kylo was a game changer when he came out. When you play, Sith Eternal drop in, whack-a-mole, like just went crazy and just deleting people. Galactic Luke as well, absolutely just really, really solid when he came out of the box in a full range of Jedi teams. I just feel that at this point, I just think you haven't got out of the box, bang for the buck enough. Now, we know that it's not the end of the world, and we know that when Maul comes, he's going to be absolutely fantastic and insane. And I think that you're actually done well, Cubs, by not rushing out to get him immediately, because there's really no rush in needing him. I'm going to use him, but I'm not going to use him the way I normally would other Galactic Legends in the past when I've unlocked them. So that to me is a little bit disappointing. Still kind of leave him on the bench a little bit, if that makes sense.
Are you surprised?
Whereas normally I should be super excited about dusting him off and using him in anger. I'm just not doing that yet.
Are you surprised?
I'm not necessarily surprised. I think I'm just a little bit. I'm a little bit I think I'm a little bit frustrated with the timing. I kind of would have liked. I would have liked Vader to be released maybe a little bit later, closer to when Maul's released as well. So there's that smaller window. I mean, there's still going to be at least another month to 5, maybe even 6 weeks, depending on how the whole conquest rolls out between now and then before we actually get Maul.
Just okay. So what would be wrong with waiting to unlock him until Maul comes out then?
Well, you could definitely do that. But again, we know how hard it is to counter Galactic Legends in general. Who's going to go into a GAC if you have the ability to unlock a Galactic Legend and have an extra one in your roster? Even though it's not at its peak performance. If you've got the ability to
unlock him, you're going to unlock him, right? But I'm just saying, like, for people who maybe blitzed it, maybe just go a little slower. Don't spend as much to get there right away. Wait until Maul.
But I think this is now set. A precedent going forward that from now on, when you get a Galactic Legend, you're going to have to wait for another piece of puzzle to make it a lot more viable. Is this a new thing for every Galactic Legend going forward now?
Yeah, and so that's where I think the more interesting discussion is, because for me, I'm like, we knew this is how it was going to be, so I don't really feel bad for people. It's like you knew that's what they said was going to happen, and so don't be surprised that that's what actually took place, especially when we already have precedent for it. Should they be releasing Galactic Legends, characters that require this much, and require another character to be a piece of that puzzle? I think it's a bit of a kick in the nuts, honestly, because with what the investment is, I mean, think about how much people need to invest in characters like this. And then to tell them, all right, so thanks for your time and investment. You're actually going to have to wait 2 months until the next conquest or whatever to get the character, and then you need to relic that character too. And then you'll be able to use them. It feels a little bit disingenuous in a lot of ways to require that much pre-investing into a character. And not just the character just to unlock, but then also you got to spend all the gear, all the relics, everything to get them usable and the mods. Yeah. And then you still need to unlock another character. And in this case, a character who's tied behind comfortably the most grindy game mode we have ever seen in the history of this game. And so, I don't love that component of it. That part I get the frustration with. It's maybe the surprise that I'm just like, well, we knew this is how it was going to be, so I don't, like, what's the big... Why are we surprised?
I probably should have put it better. I think more along the lines of, you get a character and that's fine, but it's not going to hit its full capacity until Conquest is done in 6 weeks. And there's a bit of a gap there where a lot of people would feel a little bit dudded.
There's a lot of reasons why I don't like that. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I don't want to see... I personally, given the option, I don't know if I want to see that being the norm going forward, where, you need that extra piece of the puzzle to finish it off. I think that if there is a piece of the puzzle to finish it off, it needs to be released before the Galactic Legend. So at least that when you get it, that's really the premier thing you're unlocking, not Maul. Do you know what I mean? Like, that should be the last piece of the puzzle to unlock, not the first or the middle.
It all comes back to how much we love this conquest.
Yeah, we love it. It's fantastic. Yeah, look, it's rough. I did get the red crate, though. I got it yesterday.
Wow.
It has been pretty full on. And
I've needed actually a fair bit of help just along the way.
Yeah. No, look, I mean, it's just the repetitive over and over. I mean, I actually had a few people help me work out some cool teams along the way that we could knock out a heap of feats at once. And that's been really, really, really clutch in getting it done, certainly. And I mean, I've got the toys, so it's a little bit easier for me than certainly a lot of other people that would take a lot longer to get. So it'll be really interesting to see how many do and don't get it down the track. But there's still a lot of people not happy. There's no doubt, for sure. I think that's obvious. But let's not flog a dead horse there, Cubs. Let's move on from that one because there's plenty talked about that in the past. But let's get down to our... And firstly, let us know, guys, are you happy with the way this goes as well? Please, are you waiting for Maul? Would you have liked Maul to come out first and then Vader down the track to round it out? Let us know in the comments below what you think. Now, the next topic we've got to talk about is now we've got an extra Galactic Legend in 5v5. I'm happy 3v3 is done and dusted. It was pretty rough there at the end for me. I missed Kyber by just under 1,000 banners, I think, so it was pretty rough. I'm happy that one's done and we can put that aside.
Yeah.
But 5v5 definitely feels like a comfortable pair of shoes that we know and love, Cubs.
It does,
It's definitely the way to go. I'm a lot more excited about this, but I want to ask you, man. mate, we got some extra Galactic Legends. How are people going to use them? We don't have the counters we had before. If they're out there, people won't tell you because they'll keep them to themselves. But are there any ideas on how people are going to use them? Are they going to chuck them all on defense and go, here, deal with it? Or are we going to get everyone holding them back to keep them and make an efficiency game out of it? What do you think?
I'm seeing a lot more people hold their GLs. I'm seeing a lot less GLs placed on defense since the nerfs. Now, in terms of general strategy, if you got Lord Vader, my recommendation is to dump him on defense. Not necessarily because I think he's a great defensive character, but because I love the idea of somebody facing a brand new character for the first time in GAC. If I've got him, because a lot of people aren't seeing him in Squad Arena right now, right? And so if somebody sees Lord Vader there, they're going in on pure hypothesis on what's going to work with very little to no experience. And so I always like placing those characters on defense. So if you do have all the GLs and you're wondering what to do, I would say at least give that a test drive and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we're still seeing, and I think we'll continue to see like Rey lineup still on defense, still really solid for defense. But yeah, I found the same. I think a lot of people have been keeping at least 2, maybe even 3, and then dropping 2 on defense. I think that's been a good balanced approach by a lot of people. But yeah, we don't have the counters now, so people need to definitely think outside the box, Cubs, on how this is going to roll.
Could you imagine? I was just sitting here daydreaming a little bit. What if they had not added the condition that you can't include 2 GLs on the same team?
Yuck.
We'd be able to have a full team of GLs since Kenobi.
Oh, that would just be horrific. Whirlwinds, AoEs, Kylo Ultimates. Oh my God. Oh, that is one thing they got right.
Imagine how different GAC would be. You know what I mean?
Oh, it would be disgusting.
Like how many people would just place them all on the same team?
Oh, mate, it's rough as it is. We don't even need to think about that at this point in time. But guys, let us know in the comments below. Let us know how you're going to use your Galactic Legends if you got them. Are you going to keep them? You're going to chuck them on and let someone deal with it? Or are you going to keep them for yourself and play the efficiency game? Let us know in the comments below. Always love to hear your thoughts. We do check them. I always have a look. Now we're down to the viewer's choice question, Cubs.
Oh, yeah.
Always a lot of fun. This is great. This is the question where Cubs has no idea what I'm going to ask. We goes in blind, and this one's a really cool one. Again, this one comes from one of our boys, Aramal, who is a massive KOTOR fan.
Yeah.
And of course, we know that KOTOR Remastered has been announced a few days ago.
Yep.
Pretty excited about that. I'll be picking it up, having some fun with it. Looking forward to seeing what the differences are. And yeah, it should be a lot more fun to play. Definitely. Visually be spectacular. Yeah. But the question is this, Cubs. With the announcement of the KOTOR Remaster, will we get a Galactic Legend Revan in the future in the game now?
So I actually really like this question because the not only is the Galaxy Heroes community seems to have a hub of KOTOR fans. Like if you get out into the general Star Wars gaming community, the Battlefront community, etc., you find a lot less people who really know what they're talking about with KOTOR. But in this community, we really know our KOTOR. I think part of it is because we were just a little bit older of a population of Star Wars fans, so we grew up with the KOTOR games. So there's that, and then also I have it on good authority that the development team has a ton of KOTOR fans on it as well, who love to make KOTOR content, and so I could imagine that an excuse to make more KOTOR content would not be hard for them to seize and take advantage of. Normally, we have not seen in the history of this game Star Wars games cause much of a shift in what's going on in Galaxy of Heroes, however. We've seen very small nods to games, but nothing too significant. And so we don't have a lot of precedent for this right now, but I do think a KOTOR remaster is a pretty big deal. And it could definitely be cause for celebration and lead towards maybe a Revan Reborn Galactic Legend, which I do think that they initially, I also have heard that the dev studio was planning on bringing Revan Reborn to the game, and then the thing shifted for one reason or another. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they have a character model out there, if they have testing done on something from a long time ago that they could tune up for the current environment and make a Galactic Legend. So yeah, I would say that's a pretty good question. Obviously pure speculation, but I could easily see them taking advantage of KOTOR, KOTOR's remaster and bringing us maybe a Revan Reborn Galactic Legend.
Yeah, I can definitely see Lucasfilm wanting to make a really big deal out of this.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's certainly something that, it would be up around the announcements of, say, when the Bad Batch TV show came out. We obviously got a range of Bad Batch released in association with that. I think that this is big enough, just due to diehard Star Wars fans. And I mean, this is one for the fans if you're going to do it.
Right.
Straight up.
Yeah.
That grew up with it, but we've got Old Republic already in the game, so a lot of people know what it's all about. It makes sense. It's nothing foreign. So I certainly think that, I believe exactly that as well. I think that at some point we'll definitely see a Galactic Legend Revan. And gee, how's that going to shake up the holotables, man? I mean, we know what Darth Revan teams and Jedi Knight Revan teams have done in the past. Chucking Galactic Legend Revan in as well, that's going to be really spicy.
Yeah, I love it. I'm excited.
Can't wait. So let us know in the comments below. Do you want a Revan or not? Have we got enough Revans already? Or do you want a Galactic Legend
Two's
version?
not enough. Only 2. We got like 20 Hans, okay?
And it's still not enough for you, Cubs. Dead set. He's still not happy with that many.
Never enough.
But yeah, I think we'll probably get still reckon we might get a Galactic Legend Boba down the track, leading up to Book of Boba Fett soon as well. I think that could happen. That could be on the cards. But that's just my crystal ball.
Dirty to me.
That's only my crystal ball, guys. Only my crystal ball prediction, straight up. But thank you so much, Cubs. Always a pleasure. Have a wonderful week, mate. Go BYU. Absolutely thrilled for you. Thank you so much for joining us, man. Always a heck of a lot of fun. And we got some GAC back, man. So you'll be streaming again, Thursday or Wednesday? Every day? The boys back. GAC's back this week, people. We're all thrilled. 5v5. Let's tear it up. See you on the flip side. Love you guys. Bye.
Hey guys.